Good morning, all. Myself Deeptiranjan Patnaik, and I am from GLB ITM, and I am working as assistant professor there. So, this class is a random process. Before that, we have read about random variables and the types of random variables and how the random variables are used in the our day-to-day communication system and our uh, types of what are the basics of random variables, that is PDF, CDF, different types of distributions, and how these distributions are very much close to your random variables. Now we can see about what is the random process and how this random process how the this random process can be used, or can be this random process is used to analyze the wireless digital communication system. So, first of all, we will see what is the basics of random process. So, random process is nothing but the natural extension of the concept of the random variable. That random variable is a single variable, and but random process is just the extension of the random variable. So, before that, we are concentrating on the signals, or communication to the time varying signals in the we are mostly concerned with the time varying signals in the analysis of communication system. So, in the time varying analysis, we can't use the deterministic approach. So, we have assumed that all signals are deterministic in our development so far, but in many situations the deterministic assumptions on time varying signals is not a valid assumptions. So, therefore, it is more appropriate to model signals as random rather than deterministic function, because say let us say one transmitter is there, one receiver is there. I want to transmit the signal from transmitter to receiver, and this is the channel, and we know that always we know that the channel is random in nature. Okay, why the channel is random in nature? Because the channel quality or channel characteristic depends on so many factors, like for example we can say that the channel quality is depending upon the temperature of the channel, or channel means temperature of that area where the communication is happening, or pressure of the air, or something we can say that turbulence. This turbulence is also an important parameter which can affect the channel. So, these are this temperature, pressure, turbulence, these are not deterministic, these are not constant, they are changing with respect to time. So, they are changing with respect to time means they are not constant. So, they are varying, that is why they are randomly varying. So, this is that is why we are assuming the random rather than deterministic functions. So, again one example is the case of thermal noise. Okay. The thermal noise in electronic circuits. So, this type of noise is due to the random movement of electrons. This thermal noise is generating, or this is generating due to the movement of electrons in the movement of electrons in the electronic circuit randomly as a result of thermal agitation, and therefore, the resulting current and voltage can only be described by statistically. So, we can't say that this noise is constant, that is why we can't say that this current and voltages are deterministic. So as this current and voltage are depending upon the movement of electrons, and this movement of electron is also depending upon the thermal noise. That's why this whole thing can be characterized or described by statistical analysis or statistically. So another example is the reflection of radio waves. Okay, same. Let's say one antenna is there, and similarly in the receiver side second antenna. If I am transmitting the signal, that signal is not broadcasting, that signal is not reaching the receiver directly always. So the signal can be there may be buildings, there may be trees, there may something there may be vehicles. Okay, so the signal is going it can be going straight or it can be going reflected in the reflective path. So the waves, radio waves from different layers of the ionosphere that makes long range, these are the terrestrial communication. So these are the signal is received at the receiver by just reflecting from the different surface, and that reflectors we don't know where that reflectors are there. So that's why these reflectors are random, and the signals are coming from the transmitter are also random. So and second example is your these reflective these radio waves are reflecting from the different layers of the ionosphere. Our ionosphere is there, and they are coming from that signals are coming from the reflecting from the ionosphere, and makes long range broadcasting of short wave radio possible due to randomness of this reflection. Same here, like this is the randomness of this reflection or reflectors randomness. The received signal can again be modeled as random signal. So that the whatever the signal is coming to the receiver, these signals are only described or characterized by statistically or random approach. So a random variable that is a function of time is called random process. So x is your random variable. If I will tell that x of t, that is it is function of time, so that would be your random process, or it is also known as stochastic process. Okay. So a random process is a collection of an infinite number of random variables. So if t can be t1, t2, t3, tn. So I can write x of t like, see, we have given one example that this is the corresponding to each outcome wi. This is the outcome in a probability space. There exists a x of t wi. So this one signal is there corresponding to wi. This one is signal corresponding to w2. This is the w3. These are the signals, and these are represented by x of t comma semicolon wi. For each wi there exists a time function. For each wi I can see, we can see that for each wi there is a time function. This is the time function because it is a function of time, which is called a sample function or realization of the random process. See, this is the, if I will write like directly x, that is random variable. If I am writing like x of t, simple t also, it is random process. So here I have written like this for each outcome with respect to time, I have a sample function that is x of t comma w1, or I can write full in whole, we can write x of t semicolon wi. So the collection of all sample function is called ensemble. If I will collect this all sample functions, then this is known as your ensemble. So, alternatively, we may view the random signal at T1, T2, or in general all T belongs to your real set R as a collection of random variables. What I have already told you that the random variable sorry random process is the collection of random variables at different instants of time. So, here this is the x of T1 is there, this x of T2 is there. So, all are depending on the particular time T1, T2 up to Tr. So, by this is the collection. Okay, this collection of random variable is known as the random process, that is, or in general we can write that x of t, this is the random process, and this is the t belongs to your real set R. So, from this perspective, a random process is viewed as a collection of random variables that is that are indexed by an index set R. Just whatever the first point is given, that is only just extension of that point. So, when the index set is a collection of real numbers, the random process is referred to as a continuous random process. Okay. So, if index set, that index is your belongs to R, that is real set, then this is known as continuous random variable. If it is related to only integer, okay, if it is only integer, then it is known as discrete random process, because discrete random process I can find out whatever the values I can find out at integer values only, okay, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, 0, whatever the, but I can't find 1.5, at 1.5 what is the value of signal, at 2.5 what is the value of signal. So, if I want to know the signal at 1.5, at 2.5, then that should be signal should be continuous in nature, that then only I can see the values at in between the integer values. For discrete random variable, I can say that this 0 is value 0, for 1 this is value 1, for 2 this is value is 2, for 3 this is value is minus 2, this is like, but in between 1 and 2 I can't tell what is the value. That is why depending upon the nature of the signals, the random process is also different, and the random process is also this is known as either continuous random variable or random process or discrete random process, depending upon the your index set. So, a random process is just collection of infinite number of random variables. I can say that one new point is infinite number of random variables which are generally dependent. They are generally x of t1, x of t2, x of t3, they are generally dependent random variables. So, the complete information of several dependent random variables is provided by the joint PDF of those variables. So, wherever the dependency is coming, so how to deal with this dependency in the random variable process, we should know the joint PDF. If random variable is x1 and another random variable is x2, then if they are dependent to each other, then how to analyze these two random variables? I have to analyze by obtaining the joint PDF of those random variables. So, let xi represents the random variable at ti. Xi is nothing but, if anything is written like the xi, then I can say that x is a random variable at time ti, that is I can also write like x of ti, generated by the amplitude of the random process at instant t equal to ti. Okay, this is the nothing but the x of ti is representing the amplitude at instant t I. So, the n random variables I have n random variables x1 to xn generated by the amplitudes at same x1 means at t1, x2 means at t equal to t2, similarly at xn means at t equal to tn respectively are dependent in general. So, these n random variables are dependent, these amplitudes are dependent to each other. So, for the n samples, they are fully characterized by the nth order joint PDF, because I have n samples or n random variables. That is why I have to characterize this by in the previous slide we have seen that I have to find out the joint PDF, and how much the order is the depending upon the how many number of samples are there. So, depending upon that we can say that this is the nth order joint PDF or nth order joint CDF also. Whatever the PDF or CDF we can find out, they are nth order joint PDF and nth order joint CDF. So, PDF CDF I can write like this: fx of x1 x2 x3, this is actually this is capital X, okay, random variable, and the function of x1 x2 xn, and I can write for single variable I can write CDF f of x x1 t1. So, instead of single variable we have n number of variables. So, for x1 correspondingly I can write t1, for x2 correspondingly I will write t2, similarly for xn I will write correspondingly tn. So, this is the CDF, and I can also write like in the probability form, that CDF is nothing but the your probability of xt less than or equal to some threshold, that is here your x1. Okay, so for x1 only I can write xt less than equal to x1. For x2 I can write xt less than equal to x2. Similarly, for at tn I will write x of tn less than equal to xn. Similarly, the joint PDF, this is the CDF. So, from CDF how can I get the PDF? That is nothing but the derivative, but now here nth order derivative. So, this is the simple PDF. This PDF is a joint PDF, that is nothing but, so your PDF in general PDF equal nothing but the derivative of CDF. So, here I can write like this is the CDF of x at t1, CDF at t2 and CDF at tn, and I can write the joint CDF as joint PDF as dou to the n divided by dou x1 dou x2 up to dou xn. This is the necessary joint PDF. So, this is the another important characterization of random process. A higher order PDF is that the joint PDF of the random process at multiple time instant. We have already seen at multiple time instants. So, that is why these are higher order, that is nth order. Hence, we can always derive a lower order PDF from a higher order PDF by integrating. So, we can derive a lower order PDF. I want a lower order PDF from a higher order PDF by simply integrate the higher order PDF. This is the if I want px of x1 t1, then I should integrate this higher order PDF with respect to x2, so that I will get the PDF of x1. Similarly, the mean of the random process x of t can be determined from the first order PDF as. So, we have already seen the order, the first order it gives always the mean of the random process. So, I can write mean is expectation of x of t, that is x of t bar, and that is nothing but the integration that random variable multiplied by the PDF of that random variable multiplied by dx. This is the, we have already read about this that about the random variable, but for random process it is just a function of time, nothing else. That E of x is nothing but the integration minus infinite to infinite x f x of x dx. It was in the random variable, but here all are in the function of time. So, one new thing is autocorrelation in the random process. One of the most important statistical characteristic of random process, it gives the spectral information, that is frequency information. The spectral content of the process depend on the rapidity of the amplitude change. What is how much the amplitude is changing with respect to frequency. This can be measured by correlating amplitudes at t1 and t1 plus tau. I can see the at t1 how much the value, and at t1 plus tau how much the value. That is a time shift, just at t2 equal to t1 plus tau. So, we can see that this is the x of t, this is the y of t. At for different measurement, I can see that this is the one, this signal is not varying very fast, but these signals are varying very fast. So, from this I can say that if I will draw the autocorrelation function, that is r x of tau, I can see that whatever the signals for x of t, I can see that this is the autocorrelation function, and this is the for r y of t, this is the autocorrelation function, and these functions are autocorrelation functions for slowly varying and rapidly varying random variable. This is the slowly varying, and for this it is the slowly varying autocorrelation, and this is the fast varying, okay, or rapidly varying random process. So, this is the autocorrelation of rapidly varying random process. So, correlation is a measurement of the similarity of two random variables. We have already seen in the signal system also. Hence, we can use correlation of relation to measure the similarity of amplitude T1 and T2. I have already in the told in the previous slide. If the random variable x of T1 and x of T2 are denoted by x1 and x2 respectively, then for a real random process, the autocorrelation function is your nothing but r xs of T1 T2 is nothing but x of T1 x of T2 bar other expectation of x of T1 and x of T2. For complex, it is instead of x of T1, it is the complex conjugate x star T1 and x of T2. So, the autocorrelation function of x of t is nothing but this is provides valuable information about the frequency content of the process. So, the PSD, that is power spectral density of the x of t, is nothing but the here this is the power spectral density. I can find out from the autocorrelation formula. This is the double integration of x1 x2 multiplied by this is your PDF, and integration with respect to dx1 and dx2. So, some properties of the autocorrelation function. This is the first property, that is r xx of tau equal to nothing but the expectation of x of t plus tau shifted signal and the real signal for all t, and which is nothing but I can write expectation is nothing but the integration of function multiplied by the PDF of that. Similarly, at 0 it will give, at tau equal to 0 it will give the total power, or that is mean square value. It provides mean square value, that is that's in general form is r x of tau. If time shift is not there, that is time shift is 0, then this is it will give mean square value, that is total power. So, r x of 0 is how much, x of t, put 0 here, then x of t multiply x of t x square t, that is nothing but your if tau is nothing but your same, if I will put 0, then it will give x square t. Similar third property is the even symmetry. It is nothing but r x of tau equal to r x of minus tau. This autocorrelation is a even symmetry. So, how can I prove r x of tau equal to something, this I have write, but just put the tau equal to minus tau in the above equation, then I will get r x of tau equal to expectation of x of t minus tau multiplied by x of t. That is why this property is valid. And last one is your r x of tau is less than equal to r x of 0. So, we know that x of t plus tau plus x of t, anything square is greater than equal to 0. So, I can write x square t a square plus b square plus or minus 2ab, if I will write like this plus or minus. Okay. So, a is greater than 0, I can write like this, this much less than minus plus this much less than equal to x square plus x square of t plus tau, and if I will take both side expectation, this would be like this, and the expectation of 2x square t plus x square t tau equal to how much this is r x x of 0. We have already seen that this is r x x of 0 if there is no shift. Similarly, there is no shift here also, same signal. So, r x x of 0. So, this is plus or minus plus 2 r x of tau less than equal to 2 r x x of 0. If this is cancel it out, and the mode is less than r x x of 0. And these are the basic autocorrelation functions properties, and these are the main important this is the main important parameters. It is used to detect the spectral efficiencies, or what is the spectral efficiency of the signal. And thank you, we will see in the next class.